Nobody warned you about this part. They taught you that hard work gets rewarded, that results matter, that if someone is genuinely hurting people, someone above them will eventually notice and do something about it. You believed that. Most people do. It takes a specific kind of experience to stop believing it, and you're about to understand exactly what that experience looks like. There is a pattern playing out right now in offices across London, Lagos, Mumbai, and New York. It doesn't matter the industry, it doesn't matter the size of the company. A manager is making someone's life quietly unbearable. The people on his team know it, their colleagues know it, the subtle signs are everywhere. The talent that keeps leaving, the sick bays that cluster around certain projects, the way a whole room changes energy when he walks in. Everyone sees it, and yet nothing happens. Not only does nothing happen, he moves up. He gets the bigger team, the better title, the public recognition at the all-hands meeting. And the people who suffered under him are left standing there trying to make sense of something that seems to violate every principle they were ever taught about how organizations work. This is not a bug. This is the system working exactly as designed. And once you understand why, you will never look at a corporate org chart the same way again. It usually starts with someone who is very good at one specific thing. Not managing people, not building teams, not creating psychological safety or developing talent, or any of the things the leadership frameworks talk about. He is good at making his numbers, or appearing to make his numbers, or making sure that the person above him always has what they need delivered on time with no friction and no uncomfortable conversations. He's a results machine, as long as you don't look too closely at the cost of those results. And for a long time, nobody does. Meanwhile, his team is running on empty. The high performers leave first, quietly, without making a scene, because high performers always have options. The ones who stay learn to keep their heads down. They stop volunteering ideas, they stop raising problems. They do exactly what is asked and nothing more, because anything more gets exploited and anything less gets punished. The team calcifies. Output becomes mechanical. The energy that used to drive genuine work drains away slowly, week by week, and gets replaced by a kind of careful, exhausted compliance. Someone eventually goes to HR, maybe more than one. The conversation happens behind a closed door. There are nods, documentation, assurances that this will be looked into. People feel momentarily relieved. They made their voices heard, the process is working. Then weeks pass, then months. Flat, cold. The manager's behavior doesn't change. If anything, it sharpens, because now he knows someone talked and the organization did nothing, which tells him everything he needs to know about his own position of safety. He feels protected because he is protected. And then one day the announcement arrives. A promotion, a new scope, a glowing internal message from senior leadership about his contributions and his drive and his results-oriented mindset. And somewhere in the building, the person who filed that HR complaint reads the announcement and feels something collapse quietly inside them. Here's the truth that most people never say out loud. Organizations do not primarily exist to develop people or create fair environments or reward integrity. They exist to survive, to grow revenue, protect market position, reduce liability, and keep the people at the top comfortable and in control. Everything else, the value statements, the culture decks, the town halls about psychological safety, everything else is in service of those primary objectives, not the other way around. And toxic managers, the specific kind who bully subtly, who extract results through fear, who keep their teams too destabilized to organize or resist, those managers are often extraordinarily useful to the people above them. They deliver. They don't ask uncomfortable questions. They don't build teams that become autonomous or hard to control. They create dependency, and dependency is manageable. There's something else happening too. When someone beneath a toxic manager goes to HR, they're not just reporting bad behavior, they're implicitly making a claim about leadership's judgment. Because leadership hired this person, leadership promoted them the first time. To take the complaint seriously is to admit that the judgment of the people at the top was wrong. And organizations are deeply, structurally resistant to that admission. It's easier to quietly discredit the complainant, to frame them as difficult or oversensitive or unable to perform under pressure. The manager stays, the narrative is managed, the system protects itself. The people who get punished in these situations are almost always the ones who told the truth. Not because truth-telling is strategically stupid, but because truth-telling inside a system that is not designed for truth is simply a different kind of threat, and organizations respond to threats. So, what changes when you understand this? Not everything, but something important. You stop being surprised. Surprise is expensive. Every time you expect the organization to behave morally, and it doesn't, you absorb a small psychological injury. Those injuries accumulate. They create a kind of slow cynicism that isn't useful to you. Not because cynicism is wrong, but because this particular kind is reactive. It's still organized around the belief that the system should have worked. Understanding the system clearly removes that particular wound. You recalibrate your investment, not your work ethic, your emotional investment. There's a version of professional engagement that costs you your identity, your health, your sense of self-worth, because you've handed all of those things to an organization that was never equipped to steward them. Understanding who organizations actually serve allows you to hold something back, to do excellent work while keeping the most essential parts of yourself outside of the system's reach. Slowly, building to quiet clarity, you start reading rooms differently. You notice who is protected and why. You notice whose results are questioned and whose are celebrated regardless of method. You notice who has real access and who is managed with language. That kind of clarity is not bitterness. It is literacy, and professional literacy is the thing that separates people who spend their careers confused and hurt from people who move through organizations with their eyes open. The toxic manager who got promoted is still there. He's running a larger team now, extracting the same results through the same methods, protected by the same structural incentives that protected him before. His team is struggling. Some of them are still hoping someone will intervene. They believe in the process. They haven't had the specific experience yet that would teach them the truth. You have had that experience now, or you're watching someone have it. Serious, calm, final. And the question is not whether you can change the system. You probably cannot, not from where you're standing. The question is what you do with the clarity you've been given, whether you use it to protect yourself, to make smarter decisions about where you place your trust and your effort and your years, whether you stop waiting for the organization to behave according to principles it was never built around. The promotion wasn't an accident. It wasn't an oversight. It was the organization telling you, clearly and without ambiguity, exactly what it values. The only question left is whether you were listening.